as a black man, who were my role models growing up, my own role models. A lot of my role models were my other family members. They were teachers and coaches along the way. They were, ministers at church, but also people who in a way protected me from what could have been. And I think my story is not a very unique story, but it's a story that didn't have to happen. All right.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Curse Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited about this young man today. Let me tell you, it took almost a year to get him in this seat, and I'm so glad that he is. He is a native of Philadelphia and has done extraordinary things as a young man. He has worked for a U.S. congressman. He's worked on Capitol Hill in Washington. He's done things and worked with young people and folks who need assistance in our community as a community organizer. And now he himself, for the last several years, is a state representative for Pennsylvania. And so I'm so grateful and so excited to have State Representative Anthony Bellmon with us. Hi, Anthony.
How you doing, Val? Thank you for having me today, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited for you to be here. Now, you and I are talking. I totally honor your position and all of that, but I introduced you to State Rep Anthony Bellman, but from here on out, we just gonna call you Anthony. All right.
That's cool. That's cool with me. That's totally okay.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that you are here because your presence puts another wedge in the very myopic window of how the society writ large views Black men. And we know that there are more than the four, maybe five stereotypes that we see of Black men in the media. Most of those stereotypes are negative. And we want to expand those narratives, particularly for young kings who may or may not have positive Black male role models. I want them to be able to come to this repository, see the same 6 questions answered by well over 200 amazing, successful, ordinary and extraordinary Black men, and hopefully find guidance there. And then for the rest of us to also come to this repository and hopefully have our minds expanded. And so I'm so glad that you are here today. And I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
That's a very interesting question. And I take that. I'll tell you a quick story. We were out. I was out with some friends, and an older woman kind of like asked me the same question. What does manhood mean to you? And kind of realizing that everybody doesn't always have the same base when it comes to manhood, right? Whether you're raised by a father, a grandfather, or uncle, or not having a man in a home at all, it really can kind of determine what your definition of manhood is. For me, manhood is taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of your community, and being a better person, but also making sure that you are an example to others. And I think with all of those kind of attributes, you kind of figure out life. And one thing I've learned even in my 36, well, on Sunday I'll be 36. So in my 36 years of living on this earth is that you don't always have all the answers. But for me, being a man is to make sure that you are willing to take that journey in order to find out what the answers are, in order to live the best life that you can live, but also uplifting others that are around you.
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, and happy pre-birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so grateful. Thank you for that answer. And so, question two is, who and or what is important to you?
Um, I have a lot of things that are important to me. God is very important to me. I grew up in a house where, my mom, she just made sure that we were at church all the time. And so growing up in a Kojic church in Philadelphia, you'll be in church, all week long, all night long. But growing up, it really just adds as a center of morality for me, but also a sense of peace at the same time. So I always have to lead with God, and then family is very important to me as well. I am an older brother and a younger brother. I'm an uncle. And I'm a son, and all of those things really combined makes me enjoy my family tremendously. There's been a lot of times where I am out and having conversations or at very important meetings, but I've always let my little brothers know, my older brother too, but my little brothers know it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If you guys call me, I will be there. And I have tried to really hone in on that and give them that love, because I know if they reach out for something. And for my little brother, he's about 16 years old now, so it's normally money that he's reaching out for, but I know that he's reaching out for something. I always want to be there for him. So family and God are very important to me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Anthony, how do you want us to see you?
See me as someone who is nice. And I know we're not here to talk about my job, but I work in politics, and I feel like a lot of times, people don't experience nice people in politics. They might have been jaded by elected officials or by politicians, and I don't ever want to see that. And I think that's a part of being a man too. You can be nice. You don't always have to be super aggressive. And I know, a lot of times people think that is the case, but I've learned that it's nice to be nice, and that's one of the things that I learned in church a long time ago. So I really take that and bring it to heart, and but also see me as somebody who is very effective at what they're doing. And I think if that is something that I seek to not only bring to my job, but just in all pretty much facets of my life. I think being effective and making sure that you set a goal and are able to achieve that goal is something that I always respect from other men that I've seen in my life. People who are go-getters, people who don't mind doing the hard work in order to achieve whatever they want to achieve, whether it's in family, in business, in community, and I hope people see that in me as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. So, question four, Anthony, is what is your epic dream?
Oh, my epic dream? Wow, that's a good question. I think my epic dream is to be, I think when life goes on, my dream would just be to be remembered as somebody who is committed. And I think a lot of times, especially nowadays, there's so much that can pull your attention away from what you are born to do, destined to do. And for me, it's just helping people. So my epic dream would be for people to always remember me as somebody who's committed and committed to helping people. I think that is that'll for me that'll be a life worth living.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. So, you've been answering question five all along implicitly, but I'm going to ask you
Mhm.
explicitly. State Representative Anthony Bellmon,
Mhm.
who are you?
I am a black man in Philadelphia that has had some awesome opportunities. awesome opportunities in my professional career, but just awesome opportunities in life. I'm somebody who deeply cares about other people and how other people feel, how they hurt, how they are happy. And it doesn't matter what people tell you. If you are somebody and you get into politics, you automatically become a people pleaser. And so I always want to make sure that my community is happy. And that is someone that that I seek to be, not only now but in the future. And once again, somebody who's just very effective at what they're doing. I think that's just a little bit about who I am and who I want to be in the future as well.
Mm, awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much. So here we are already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I would say, as a black man, who were my role models growing up, my own role models. And a lot of my role models were my other family members. They were teachers and coaches along the way. They were, ministers at church, but also people who in a way protected me from what could
Mhm.
have been. And I think my story is not a very unique story, but it's a story that didn't have to happen. All right, I grew up in Philadelphia in a single parent home. And in a row home like everybody else in Philly, and for me, I had the awesome opportunities to go away to school and graduate from college and get a master's, and all of those things are great. But it's really my community that put and instilled a lot of those values in me. And even sometimes when I wanted to do wrong, it was community members that pulled me back and said, "You know what? This is how you should be acting." And my neighborhood, it was one of those type of situations where there were a lot of single women with children living on my block. So they didn't mind calling up my mom and say, "You know what? Anthony needs a good talking to every once in a while when I needed it." But all of those things and all of those people really shaped who I was, and really my community became a huge role model for me, and to make sure that I was successful, and not only in a career path, but also just in life, and in making sure that I was really going to be a good person in life.
That's really beautiful. That's awesome. Shout out to the neighbors. That's awesome. That is excellent. Well, I just thank you so much. I love what you just said, that because embedded in it is hope and opportunity for others, that my story is not unique, but it is a great story, right? It's showing what is possible. And it shows that, again, the stereotypes that we see, that what is possible, right? And that you represent um, how people, young people, can rise above, if you will, their circumstances, of what people tell them are their circumstances, right? What I didn't hear in your story, the way you described it, I didn't hear those negative connotations and struggles that people have, whether they were there or not. How you described and your outcome is so important. And I'm just so grateful for the work that you are doing, that you've done, that you will continue to do as you continue to grow. You're still a very young man, which is beautiful for all of us, because as you continue to grow and stay grounded in your values, in your faith, I believe that the sky is the limit for you. And I'm so grateful for you. So I honor you, my king. I pray that your epic dream comes true sooner rather than later. And I'm just so grateful that you're here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Val. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And stay right there, because I want to thank the audience for joining us today. I really hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there is a successful and positive Black man in your life who you want to see highlighted in this forum and hear from in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio, fill out the nomination form, and we'll take it from there. I often say that success, I don't define success by what a brother does for a living. He could be a young man who went away to a boarding school and graduated from an elite college, and then got a master's degree from an Ivy League college, and then went and worked in Washington for a congressman, and then became a state representative as an elected official in his own right, or not. We want to hear from all the brothers. What is really important is the content of their character and the impact that they are making on the people around them, starting with the nuclear family and radiating outward to the rest of us. Those brothers we also want to hear from in this repository, because we need everyone. And so please, next week, stay tuned for yet another amazing king. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Representative Anthony, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.